Early April 1862. Thousands of Union soldiers camped near Tennessee's Tennessee River, unaware a Confederate army was approaching. Shiloh protected a strategic corridor toward Corinth, Mississippi, an important railroad junction for Confederate defenses. Union forces under Major General Ulysses S. Grant were gathering near Pittsburgh Landing, along the Tennessee River. Confederate Commander Albert Sidney Johnston planned to attack before Grant's army could become fully organized. Confederate troops moved north from Corinth, marching through difficult spring terrain toward the Union camps. On the morning of April 6, Confederate forces struck the Union camps with surprising speed. Union troops formed a stubborn defensive position around a sunken road that became known as the Hornet's Nest. For hours, Union soldiers held their position against repeated Confederate attacks. Over 50,000 minie-balls were fired in this. Union artillery strengthened the defensive line, creating a concentrated barrier against the Confederate advance. Confederate forces continued pressing forward, gradually pushing Union troops toward the Tennessee River. Pittsburgh Landing became the crucial escape and supply point for Union troops along the Tennessee River. Union transport boats moved across the river, while soldiers used the landing to reorganize their defensive position. After Johnston's death, General P.G.T. Beauregard assumed command of Confederate forces. By nightfall, exhausted Union and Confederate soldiers occupied positions across a battlefield transformed by 2 days of fighting. During the night, reinforcements from Major General Don Carlos Buell's army crossed the Tennessee River. Thousands of fresh Union soldiers strengthened Grant's army before fighting resumed the next morning. On April 7, the Union Army launched a coordinated counterattack across the battlefield. Confederate troops resisted throughout the day, but gradually withdrew toward Corinth. Shiloh's dense woods, ravines, fields, and narrow roads made movement and communication difficult. Behind the fighting, armies depended on horses, wagons, riverboats, ammunition, food, and medical supplies. The enormous number of casualties overwhelmed battlefield medical systems, forcing armies to expand emergency care. More than 23,000 Union and Confederate soldiers were killed, wounded, captured, or missing. Shiloh's losses shocked the public. Americans had not yet experienced casualties on this scale during the Young War. Despite criticism after the battle, Grant remained in command and continued leading major Union operations. The Confederate withdrawal toward Corinth left the Union in control of the battlefield and strengthened its position in the region. Control of the Tennessee River gave Union armies an important transportation route deeper into the Confederate heartland. Shiloh became a symbol of how devastating the Civil War would become. Thousands of ordinary Americans, who had entered the war expecting a short conflict, experienced its brutal reality at Shiloh. After the war, Shiloh became a place where Americans remembered those who fought and died there. In 1894, Congress established Shiloh National Military Park to preserve the battlefield and commemorate the soldiers who fought there. Today, preserved fields, roads, monuments, and markers allow visitors to understand how the armies moved across the landscape. The park takes its name from Shiloh Church, a small meeting house that stood near the battlefield. Standing among these fields today makes one fact clear. The battle unfolded across an enormous landscape. Shiloh demonstrated that the Civil War would demand enormous armies, resources, and sacrifices from both sides. Shiloh was only 2 days of fighting, but its impact would echo through the rest of the Civil War.